Good morning and welcome to the show. I've got a friend of mine here in the studio today, Daryl Day, and we're going to learn more about the kinder and gentler side of my friend Daryl Day, but not after our morning sip of coffee, which is a ritual you have on your radio show, the Daryl Day Show.
I miss it sometimes, but
usually
most
it's
of the time
you do the pledge and you do all that stuff, and then you have the morning sip of coffee. So we're going to have a sip of Deja Brew coffee from the beach. It's the best coffee on the beach, by the way. Morning sip.
Good morning, sir.
All right. Here's mud in your eye. Oh, you got to do that.
You have to do
that's
see,
right.
The whole thing is.
I'm getting it down, Daryl. Thanks.
It just doesn't work at all, Don, unless you.
So people know you from your radio show on Talk Radio 101. You're the morning drive guy. You're a conservative guy, you know, for the most part. Very patriotic and a pretty smart guy when it comes to, you know, the Constitution and how you think this government should work. And people either like you or they don't. But love you or hate you, you're still a citizen here of Bay County that you have been a lifelong citizen
Love
of.
Bay County.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you grew up here, didn't you?
Grew up here. Yeah.
What high school did you go to?
Bay High.
You went to Bay High?
Yeah. My family moved to Panama City Beach in 1923.
Wow.
Yeah.
So several generations here.
Several generations.
And that's
I'm on my third bridge.
Oh, that's right. That's
Third
right.
bridge.
Yeah.
I don't know how many more bridges I have left in me. Though.
Yeah. I remember the old Hathaway Bridge when they kind of
You
blew
remember
that up.
the second Hathaway Bridge.
And the first one was even smaller.
The first one was flat.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, it was flat. There was no arch to it at all. It had a center span that turned sideways.
Oh.
And to allow barges and things to go through. As a matter of fact, folks that lived on the beach, if we were going to the drive-in theater in Panama City, we were always worried we would get caught by the span turning sideways and that I would miss the color cartoon, which was big for me.
What was it like growing up back then?
You know, the beach was a funny place. The beach was, after Labor Day, we pretty well rolled up the sidewalks.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't even sidewalks to roll up, but there was just nothing happened. It got very, very quiet. It was a small community. You knew everyone that lived on the beach. You went to Beach Elementary School, Hutchinson Beach Elementary School. And it was a different place. You know, sand dunes everywhere. Big, tall sand dunes everywhere.
And what'd you do for fun?
We stayed on the beach. We surfed, we swam, we spent time in the lagoon, swimming in the bay. You could back then you could get a wash tub, what's called a wash tub with an inner tube around it, and within 100 yards of walking up and down the bay, load it with blue crab.
Wow.
Getting bit by scallops was a problem.
Oh, wow.
It was just a different bay.
Yeah, it was
different way to grow up.
Yeah. And you're an outdoorsman now, so you do quite a bit of hunting and some fishing.
Deer
too,
hunting,
I understand.
I deer hunt a lot. I wasn't able to hunt much last year. Wasn't able to get on a lease that I wanted to be on, but when deer hunting season comes around, it's hard for me to stay focused.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
When did you start? When did you kill your first deer? How old were you?
I actually didn't kill my first deer until probably about 10 years ago.
Oh, really?
My father was a big hunter. He hunted around the country, around the world actually, with his good buddy Max Fleming. And I got away from hunting for a while. I've always been a squirrel hunter. We camp out every year. When squirrel hunting season opens, it's a family tradition to go down on Easter.
Can you eat squirrel?
Well, sure you can.
I'm a city kid. I don't know.
Of course you can. Yeah. Squirrel used to be our Christmas dinner.
Wow.
You can eat it fried. You can have squirrel and rice. You can boil squirrel. I could be like a Forrest Gump kind of thing. Yeah. But squirrel's okay. I mean,
throw some shrimp in there. And
it's a pretty good meal.
That's awesome stuff. You know, so you had the natural beauty of Bay County then, and you've probably seen a lot of changes since then. And now you've got this whole spring break thing.
Yeah.
And
we had spring break back then. We've always had spring break. There's always
but
been
it's just bigger and crazier now, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's a little. I think it's a little rougher.
Yeah.
A little rougher around the edges. It was typically college kids, blowing off steam. But now it's gotten a little bit of a seedier element underneath there.
You got people who aren't necessarily students coming down for spring break.
Yeah, they haven't just finished finals.
And you got high schoolers coming down for spring break, and that's kind of the downside of all that.
And I wish we could turn it back. I wouldn't like to see Panama City Beach do away with spring break. I think that would be the wrong direction. But I think we need to turn it down, and I don't know how to do that without trampling on rights. Yeah. But we're going to have to do something, I think.
It's a tough question. We've got to run off to a break in the local weather. We're going off to your local weather, brought to you by the West Pittman Law Firm, westpittmanlawfirm.com. Welcome back to the show. I'm speaking with radio talk show host Daryl Day, and you can hear him weekdays on Talk Radio 101 from 6 to 9 in the morning. And besides being the voice of conservatism here in Bay County.
I think it's the voice of common sense.
Okay, all right, I'll give you that.
Because I'm liberal in some things. Believe it or not, I'm a pretty liberal guy.
What things are you liberal about?
Well, I'm socially, I'm pretty much liberal.
I use a lot of ketchup. I'm very liberal
Very
with
liberal
ketchup.
with ketchup. No, I believe that everybody should be able to, kind of choose their own path. What I don't like is the government telling us what to do.
So you're more of a libertarian, I suppose. Sort of, kind of.
Sort of, kind of.
Yeah,
sort of,
but you know what? Resist the label.
I don't want to be. I don't want to be. I don't. There's not a party that would perfectly represent me. I'm like Groucho Marx. I wouldn't be a member of a club that would have someone like me as a member.
That's always a good rule of thumb, But you are a member of a family, and you got two teenage boys at
17
home.
and 15.
And I know what it's like to have teenagers in the house because we've been through.
It's exciting.
It is exciting.
Very exciting.
It is exciting. And you're doing this by yourself, pretty much. And
a single parent.
And they're good kids.
They're good kids.
Yeah.
They're good kids. They are what you make them. I mean, you can be the greatest parent in the world, and it's still a crapshoot, in my opinion.
It is.
I don't know that it's always indicative of parental upbringing, how children turn out.
It's
we would like to think so.
It's like nature versus nurture.
There's a little bit of genetics in there involved, I'm sure. And there again, it's a roll of the dice. It really is. You can do your very best, and one will turn out to be the next president, or the one may turn out to be the next
Speaker.
Got a long number. Speaker of the House. See, we weren't going to get political today.
I know. I'm trying to stay apolitical on this thing. But speaking of young people, I talk a lot on the show about quality of life and the next generation coming up and jobs and skills. And I had Bill Husfeldt on the show recently, and we talked about is everybody college material? And the answer is a resounding no.
They are not.
People need to learn how to do things. I mean.
Well, let me ask you something.
Now, you do other things. I mean, you're a contractor, right?
I'm a carpenter.
You build homes?
Build homes. What is wrong with laying bricks? What's wrong with being a roofer?
Nothing.
What's wrong with being a painter or a plumber or an electrician? There's nothing wrong with that. It's good, honest work.
Yeah.
And all of it doesn't require college education. And if we all get college education, somebody's going to have to build our houses. Yeah. Somebody's going to have to haul our garbage away. Someone's going to have to clean the pool. Someone's going to have to build the pool. Someone's going to have to build the house that we live in. And in America today, I think that we're $1.1 trillion in debt with student loans.
People are probably going to college that probably should be going to a trade school like Haiti.
Yes, but we look down on kids that don't go to college. Well, you can't do that. You can't make it without a college education. And then we tell them, if you get a college education in your lifetime, you'll make $800,000 more. Based on what figures?
Yeah.
And what about whether or not you're happy?
And what if you go out on your own, you work for somebody for a while, and then start your own business?
You work for a bricklayer, you work for a carpenter, you learn a trade that you can use anywhere in the country, and you can open up your own framing company, you can open up on your own bricklaying company, and you can participate in the great American dream.
I am a huge fan of Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs, and he is a big proponent of people learning how to make things, not everybody going to college. And he says, just as a country, and even as a community here in Bay County, you cannot be a country that manufactures things and sells things if you don't know how to make them, if you don't have the workforce that knows how to
I can fix my car.
Yeah.
I can still fix my car. I can fix things that go wrong around the house. I don't have to always call someone.
I know when I was in high school,
that's a dying art.
We had shop class, we had metal shop, wood shop, auto mechanics, we had all that stuff. And they don't do that in high schools now because there's so many mandates coming from on high on,
to gear kids to what? Go to college.
To go to college. Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I don't think we should feed that to kids as that's the only thing. And regardless of anything, you must have a college education because.
And there is no shame in working with your hands. And you know what I find in my life? Every several years I reinvent myself. And
I think
that's
there's
a great thing about America.
Sometimes there's less shame in working with your hands because if you're working with your hand's not in somebody else's pocket.
Daryl Day, we're going to have to let that be the last word. But
I appreciate it,
Thanks so much for coming on the show. And we will be right back after your Max Biz tip.
Hot, hot, hot. 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 Are your business systems hot? Are your systems hot? Are you improving in profitability? Are you going to the next level in cash flow? Are you eliminating the waste and frustration? Or are you the entrepreneur or the business owner and you're frustrated because you're doing everything by yourself and you're saying to yourself, there has to be a better way? Listen, that better way is my Max Out Lab Business Training Volume 3 entitled Business Systems Are Hot. Listen, at this training, we're going to be sharing with you how you can make money and work less by creating brilliant business systems. I'm going to train you how to become a business systems thinker. I'm going to also show you how to have automated sales and marketing through business systems. Systematic client attraction. Can't we all use more clients? Listen, if that is you, I encourage you to meet me right here inside the Max Out Studios on April the 26th at 10 a.m. The cost is only $89, my friend. Business systems are hot. Listen, if you register right now today, I'm going to give you my Max Out I Want It All book. Inside this book, there is a wealth of knowledge to maximize your business, your relationships, your finances. If you register today, right now, all you got to do is go to www.zenoviaandrews.com, and the cost again is only $89. I've got faith that you're going to take action right now, easily by going to www.zenoviaandrews.com. And hey, my friend, let's continue to press towards the max.
Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Lana Pate from Metabolic Research Center, and she's going to share some weight losing tips with us.
That's right.
Is that the right way to say it, or is it just
sure.
healthy living tips?
Healthy living tips, you know, exercise and physical activity is certainly going to help with weight loss.
Now you have done that yourself, right?
Yes.
And I don't mean to embarrass you, but I know
No.
at Metabolic Research Center, they have before and after pictures of everybody around there. And like our friend Heather, who comes on quite often, you've lost a substantial amount of weight, haven't you?
Yes. 14 years ago, I joined the program and lost 34 and a half pounds.
Wow, so what were you, about 12 years old then?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But the healthy living thing, I guess, is all part of that. Right?
It really is. And you know, exercise and physical activity is not only a way to lose the weight, but it's a great way to maintain your weight loss.
Yeah.
Me personally, that's really why I hit the gym at least 3 to 4 times a week. Not only does it help with maintaining the weight loss, but it helps my my mood. Right?
You know, I noticed that too. When I don't
Clears
work
my-
out, and it's not as frequently as it used to be back in the glory days.
Right.
Yeah, it affects your mood. You feel better. You sleep better.
You sleep better.
Yeah,
you know,
everything.
the physical activity actually stimulates various brain chemicals, which they'll leave you feeling happier, healthier, and really boost your self-confidence. So, and it certainly helps with energy and sleep. We can all use that.
So tell me a little bit about your journey. I mean, I guess you had an epiphany one day and said, geez, I got to lose some weight.
You know, it was my mom and I went in there and we did the program together.
Oh, well, that's cool to have a buddy, right?
Absolutely. Teamwork makes the dream work. So we
like
went
that.
in there. We went in there with the goal that we had a wedding to attend, and so we wanted to, of course, look pretty sassy in our dresses for the wedding, and so that was our goal. We had a motivator. And then, of course, doing it together certainly was
Isn't
was
that
helpful.
always something? You always hear about weddings or prom, or you got to fit into a dress.
Yes.
And that's,
when you have a motivator, when you have something
Yeah.
that's driving you, like right now we have some folks getting ready for cruises or vacations, and
Yeah.
they want to fit into their little summer dresses, or the guys want to look better in their swim trunks, or the shirts button a little bit easier. If you have a goal that's going to drive you, it's really easy.
So you and Mom went together.
Yes.
As kind of like, I guess, the buddy system. to
Absolutely.
And that worked out better. Is it better to have a buddy than to go it alone? I mean, that's an obvious question. I
It
guess.
just really depends on the person.
Yeah.
Some people are kind of private and they kind of want to do this on their
Yeah.
own. But for us, you know, personally, it was a motivator. We had the motivation when we went into the center.
Did you keep an eye on each other?
Oh, absolutely.
Was it like AA? Like,
Yeah.
I'm having a weak moment, you got to help me out?
Or we'd say, "What are you drinking? What are you drinking? What are you eating?" So
Yeah.
yeah, we pretty much helped each other.
So
and
if I'm
checked
having
each other.
coffee with 2 sugars and some cream, you'd be like, should have that black.
Well, we'd have some alternative choices for you for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
So it started out, I guess, as, you know, wanting to get ready for an event.
yes.
And then you went and you got to this program, and over time, instead of just getting ready for an event, it kind of turned into a lifestyle, didn't it?
Absolutely was. It was a lifestyle change for me. Before I lost the weight, I had a pretty active lifestyle, but by losing 34 pounds, I was a little bit lighter on my feet, so I started running local 5Ks and 10Ks and eventually built up to marathons. So that is, like I said earlier, that's a way that I maintain that weight loss.
So are you still a runner? Or
I am, yes. It's a little difficult, of course, with the having a 5-year-old and, and having, the career, but it's good that weight loss and fitness is my passion. So when that's something that you believe in so much, I mean, it's easy to help people reach their goal.
But you're like a lot of moms out there. I mean, you work, you've got a child, you got a family,
right?
But yet you take time for yourself to maintain yourself.
You really have to.
Now, are you something special, or can anybody do this?
Anyone can do it.
Yeah.
Anyone can do it. Like we said earlier, if you have that motivator, whether it's health related, if you want to help control diabetes, or you want to get off blood pressure meds or cholesterol meds, we talked about this earlier. We can really help a lot of these ailments with food. And that's what we do at Metabolic, coming in for a free consultation, letting us learn a little bit more about you. If you want to eat 3 times a day or 2 times a day, or if you're one of those individuals that needs to eat 6 times a day.
You'll tailor it to our lifestyle.
We will absolutely tailor it.
So how do we get in touch with you? I guess we could just Google up Metabolic Research Center, right?
Yes, our website is emetabolic.com. Or our number is 785-2110, and all the ladies there we've done program before. So
so you can talk to people and get personal testimonials there.
Absolutely.
Lana Pate, we're so out of time, it's not funny, but thank you so much for coming on the show and getting us smart on Metabolic Research Center.
Yes.
We'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to the show. I was just checking out my Live 850 app to see what was going on this weekend. Jennifer Vigil, creator of Live 850, thanks for coming back on the show.
Oh, you're welcome.
You know, I love getting your weekend updates, but what I really like to talk about is how you created this thing.
Well, it's out of necessity. My husband and I would get in the car on a Thursday, Friday night, or on the weekend and say, what do you want to do? Well, I don't know. What do you want to do? Well, I don't know. What do you want to do? Well, what's going on? And we never knew. We hardly ever carry the newspaper with us in the car, and trying to find some of our favorite bands, who's playing where. You would have to go to 1,000 different Facebook pages.
You're doing searches and all kinds of things.
Exactly, and nobody ever puts all of the information all in the same place. So I said to myself, somebody should do that, and he said, well, then you should.
And just about all of us carry this thing around with us, right?
You never go anyplace without your cell phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I even carry it around the house. So.
Yeah, and it's more than a cell phone. It's a smartphone. Dumb people,
Calendars,
smartphones.
Appointments, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's great because then, I mean, if you're out in the middle of the day doing something, you say, oh, well, what can I do this afternoon? There's live music for a couple of hours. You can find out if somebody's playing at the Little Village, or, if Tony Vegas is your favorite, find out where he's playing, and then you can go there.
And I'm looking at this thing. You got live music, events, I mean, who we are, all that stuff, and special messages that you kind of push out there.
Absolutely.
Now, how do I get this app on my phone?
You can download it from the Google Play or the Apple iTunes Store, and it's Live 850, Live 850.
And it's free.
And it's free.
Which is just great.
Download it from your phone just like any other app.
Live 850. Love it. So what's going on this weekend?
This weekend,
what's hot?
Oh gosh, it is Taste of the Beach over at Pier Park.
And are you looking under what, live music or events?
I am looking under events right now.
Okay, under events.
That's the big event. And
get your phone out, Live 850, go to events, follow along.
Taste of the Beach, bunch of different restaurants and stuff. You buy your tickets in advance, and you get to have a taste of all these different restaurants, and it's all over at Pier Park, so there's tons of other things to do. Absolutely tons of stuff going on. The Women's Work-Life Symposium is this weekend too, sold out. So if you don't have your tickets, you're too late, but they are going to have some phenomenal speakers and phenomenal entertainers there. So that'll be great. A couple other things going on this weekend. If you switch and click on your other tab.
Okay, so I go back and
go to live
music, one of my personal favorites. Yeah.
And one of my favorite bands has 2 gigs this weekend at Players Saloon on 15th Street, and that's Barbed Wire Creek. So if you're out and about, make sure you stop in and see Barbed Wire Creek at Players Saloon this weekend. They do so much for the community. They actually, not too long ago, they had an event over, a neighbor of yours over there at Twisted Suspension. They had an autism awareness event that Barbed Wire Creek supported and played at. So definitely, if you're in the area, go out and see Barbed Wire Creek. There's a bunch of different musicians that are going to be at the Little Village throughout the week. And on Wednesdays, Music Matters.
Yeah, Music Matters, of course,
Music
downtown.
Matters.
And for people who don't know, can you tell me what the Little Village is all about?
The Little Village is an eclectic shop that is just behind Hunt's Oyster Bar in historic St. Andrews. They have jewelry, they have lawn ornaments, they have clothes, they have Stella on tap.
Yeah.
So you can sit down.
And I think that's where the ukulele orchestra rehearses.
Yes, it is.
Those guys are awesome.
They-
We're going to have them on.
They have a number of things there. I used to take yoga class there. Right now, they have a hula hooping class. I think it's on Tuesdays, Mondays or
Gotta love
Tuesdays.
that stuff.
So yeah, it's just a bunch of eclectic stuff going on over there.
Well, thanks for getting us up to speed on what's going on this weekend. And hey, come on back next week. Tell us what's going on next weekend.
Absolutely.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.